What's good, guys? JDaisy here with the JDaisy Gaming Channel here in Space Engineers, showing off a build that I worked on for a couple days here. It doesn't have a name yet. Its purpose is as kind of a rescue cargo ship, and I was just messing around with it, so I thought I would show it off. A feature that I found very useful. This is on lockdown mode, so the hangar bay is shut, and every window on here has a shutter. Which is also shut. This is a model that is in the open position. I won't do a full in-depth tour just because that would take a while. So this is where you would have ships that would be going out to go help repairs or salvage, what have you. Very large hangar bay was kind of the main thing behind it. Heavily shielded, and that's kind of what I wanted to show off today. If you're new to Space Engineers and you don't know anything about it, the Space Engineer is, there's a base game, obviously, and then it is open to modding, to anyone that wants to. And the community is very big, and the game developers are very welcoming to that. So one of the mods, this is a heavily modded craft that I'm on, along with almost all of my normal gameplay is heavily modded, because I think it's just a great thing that the community is so open. But one of my new favorite mods that I kind of wanted to showcase today is a shield generator mod. It's been out for quite a while, so it's fairly tried and true. So both of these ships are equipped with the exact same shield generator. One is literally just a copy of the other, and I already have all my missile turrets lined up. We're just going to... Okay, so... Sorry it gets a little loud, but as you can see, all of these missile turrets, if our FPS can hold together, are all firing at the bridge here. Very little piece of equipment, very tiny, and you would think that these missiles would be ripping right through it. Let's see if I can get back in. Control. Select all our missile turrets that they just keep bombarding. And we'll turn off shoot sting. So let's go take a look at all that damage. All those explosions did this. Blew off the shutters. Oh, these little blue things are nanites coming to help repair. But quick before they start doing their thing, we can take a quick look. Sorry, the words. So we blew off a couple of windows, some armor. But in all, this ship is still flyable. I could still take control, or even still be controlling this, and fly this away. That is insane for the amount of bombardment we just rained down on this. So just in contrast, let's just turn a little talk on so we can see everything. Shield, large shield generators. So as you can see, we have quite a few. We'll toggle all those off, okay? Now this ship is completely shieldless. Exact same ship, but shieldless. Has no shields now. And we saw what little damage that did. Let's just get on. We'll just fire one more missile barrage. I think that should, you know, there they hit. Okay, let's fire one more. Okay. They're fired a couple. Let's go take a look. So just those few tore off windows, pretty much well exposed this entire thing, what was left. Okay, that's understandable. Wasn't much left. So, but you can see just at the shield how damaging, or how dampering they really are. So let's just do this. As we give a quick tour of the ship. We left this on for quite a while, and we could just watch it fall apart. That's quite loud. So let's just fly into the hangar bay here to try and gain back some of our FPS. And I can turn all those off at any time, just gotta find a control panel. Oh my god, we're at 30 frames per second. Chug, 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 chug. We'll kind of let them do their own thing here for a second. Luckily, So yeah, I said I'd give a quick tour, just or kind of an overview. Like I said, this is mainly a search and rescue or a salvage ship. So we have a large cargo area that would send out little ships. There's another cargo or a hangar back there for more important goods. All these levels, except the top one with the fancy blue marker, are all pretty much restricted non-access levels. So we have our reactor, we have oxygen, we have our nanite control, we have a workshop, we have the jump drives. Pretty much everything the ship needs is contained on the first, I believe there's 5 levels down there. And then the top level is your basic dormitory, cafeteria. Cargo is under all these missile turrets. There's about 8 cargo holds. And then obviously the bridge at the top with 2 main controls. So the ship was meant to be very large and bulky, but be able to be manned by a relatively small crew. So like 2 people could adequately fire this, or fly this, not necessarily fight it, but could adequately fly this. And I just added that control panel that we keep going to on the outside just for ease of this video. So now we can see that that little bit longer rocket barrage has just obliterated the bridge, which is relatively the weakest point of the ship, minus the engines, which are fairly exposed. But I like the look of it. It kind of doesn't make it look so streamlined, which I think is nice. So we have these nice modded in battery cannons. Fairly nice things. I'm not 100% sure where they are pointed at because they are static. I have no control over them. We'll fire 3 shots from both those. So it's technically 6 shots just rained down on this ship. Where did they hit? Ah, over here. You can already see the warpage that's happened. So it's done quite a bit of damage. And as we get in, it renders a little bit more. So we can see inside the hangar bay. That's just from 6 shots from those. It may not seem like much, but compared to what that shield generator was reflecting, I mean, we rained hell on that bridge and it barely sustained any damage. I mean, if we, I should have done a shot with the shield generator on for those just to get an idea. Let's go to the main battery cannons. These are on the front. These are the main cannons you would use to defend yourself. The ship isn't really a warship, but a defense. So these are large. We just fired 2 shots. Nice little hit. And if I'm right on the power of these, yep, we should have a nice big hole broken in the side here. So yeah, I mean, if we were to use this as a salvage ship, those cannons, if there wasn't a big enough hole, we could use those cannons to break us a hole in. Because I mean, I should be able to, yep. And then I would be able to get in here, use my grinder. That's on one of these. Use my grinder to start salvaging this ship. Or hypothetically, I mean, if you really wanted, you could use this ship as a pirating ship. So I mean, those I wouldn't recommend it just because of the bulkiness of this ship and kind of the if it didn't have the shield generators, if somebody were to say get in here and disable the shield generators, you would be kind of stuck up a crick, as the saying goes. So let's just, for comparison, we'll turn back on these shield generators, all 17 or however many there are, quite a few. Let's get out of here. Our my frames have just been horrible with this since I brought in the second ship. I wonder why. I was running about 60 frames a second with just the one ship I was building. I add a second ship and it drops down to about 20 that we're running at now. So now the shield generators are back online, fully operational. They should be all over the ship. I don't think they have a horrible recharge time, but we just turned them on. They weren't depleted. So in theory, we take back control of that main battery. We'll fire at the second elevator shaft. We'll just fire 2 quick volleys. And we'll go take a look at that damage comparative to that giant damage we did without the shields. So this is a test with the shields just turned back on, so they might not even be at full 100%, but nothing. I mean, this is unscathed. Not even a scratch nothing. I mean, we were firing this general area. Sorry about that. Not so well sensitive. So I mean, just that's how powerful the shield generator is at deflecting that volley. I mean, it didn't even matter that we fired. So we saw a little bit ago how big though that volley was of these battery cannons without the shield. So now just hypothetically with the shield, I already know what it's going to look like, but we're just going to turn them on for a second or two. Let them just rain hell on it. So these are just firing 1, 2. So about every 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 rockets or 4 rockets are just hitting the exact same spot, pounding it. That should be enough. I didn't count. And you saw that 2 of those gave us a pretty good warpage. That's still there. The nanites must be overloaded trying to fix other things. So those rockets would have been hitting right here where this warpage already is. They already have a hole broken. Nothing. I mean, this is the exact same point we were at 10 seconds ago with the without the shields. So let me just hop in here. Some great seat cover there. Should have made a group for the shield generators for as much as I'm using them, but oh well. So we'll toggle those off. So now the ship's completely exposed. And I know this seems redundant, but when I was messing around with this, I did this once before here. I was just having fun just blowing it. It's always fun blowing apart a ship you worked hard on making, because you just get to watch, you know, all that work you put in. Not get blown apart, but it's just fun watching it be destroyed as you when you're the one doing it. When a meteor comes in, just give a nice little volley here. As if we were pirates or this was a salvage mission, you know, getting into that hangar bay would be one of the more important things, and not necessarily we'd want to be using our giant guns, but you know, sometimes you might not have a spare ship or might not want to send somebody out into, you know, with a grinder to come over here and grind away, or you have a grinder ship handy. So I mean, in relativeness, we just blasted a hole into this and have access to both the hangars, but anything within the hangar is not horribly scathed. I mean, me knowing the layout of the ship, I kind of had an idea, you know, I knew where to hit so that I could access both of them. But so in theory, if you were able to get in here, blow open this giant hole, you could get in here. But the idea was that this ship is big, bulky, well exposed, but it has so much shieldage that it doesn't even matter. So I mean, if you were to be out there salvaging, or heck, even using this for mining, it does have on-board refinery and assembling processes. So I mean, this could be used as a mining ship. It's not really multi-purpose, but it sort of is, in a sense that there's no giant drills or anything on it. You could use it for other things. It's just you got to be mindful that you have this giant hangar that's exposed. Your bridge is relatively tiny and well exposed. I mean, we have those shutters along the windows, and all the hallways I didn't show, but all the hallways have blast doors at the intersections. So all the hallways are pressurized in of themselves to be able to be hit and broken up, but not completely lose oxygen. So if you were in a hallway, hypothetically, if we can fly up here with our frames. So here we're in the main hallway. This is what takes you to the bridge. The bridge would be behind us. The only reason you see these blue blocks up ahead are blue is because that's the last room I worked on, and the room I didn't have finished because I didn't know what to put in there. That's why I painted this blue, is so I know what blocks to take out to get a hold of the room that I wasn't working on, because I work floor by floor up. So as you can see, right here, right there, and right there all have their own blast doors that will come down and seal this area off should something arise. So this entire hallway, that entire hallway, that entire hallway, along with their corresponding double gangers on the other side, because the ship is symmetrical down the middle, would all be able to be pressurized. Say you did get a hole busted in here. We have elevator banks, 2 elevator banks, one here, one further down there, going through the entire, up and down the entire ship's corridors. One floor is sectioned off, as in I just took some catwalks, turned them sideways, and put them on a lower deck to kind of keep non-essential personnel off there, because there's nothing on that floor other than a couple conveyor belts. The reactor is heavily armored and it's bright red, so that you would know that only authorized personnel are to go into the reactor, and even if something were to happen, it's in the heart of the ship, so it's the last thing to get hit. That's always how I do all my ship builds. So just for reference, and all the windows, so all the elevator shafts all have these nice shutters, which are also modded in. So if you were to be boarded or attacked, and these are purely aesthetics, because they don't offer much protection, but they do, you know, you're relying heavily on the shields, but for looks, I mean, if somebody was attacking you, you hit this button, all your windows seal shut, and if they were inside already, all the hallways suddenly seal off. You know, that'd be quite intimidating, I would think. You think so? Like now, this is the hallway we went down, is sealed off, and it's just like that on all the other floors, as I explained. So, I mean, this would be if you were to try and board this ship, and they were aware that you were on here, and you weren't able to get to the shield generators, or, you know, if you were a pirate or something, you wouldn't have access to the control panel, so the shields are still up because you didn't get to the shield generator. They get aware that you're onto them. They hit the button to lock down everything, and even if you wanted to get to the bridge, they can raise up the bridge elevator, so there it's on its way. So now you have to wait for it to come back down, which if you were under a siege, you would just turn that off. And you can also seal up here, so the captain and the co-captain are completely sealed off. All the main parts of the ship are sealed off. The shield generators are on, and the hangars are all closed. So I mean, the ship is relatively sealable and being able to withhold siege as you salvage or mine or whatever you're using the ship for. You know, you're relatively safe should something happen. I mean, you are safe. There's nothing about this that isn't really safe other than the structural integrity if the shield generators were compromised, but they're right next to the reactor. They're the second most secure part of the ship, as far as that goes. So yeah, I just thought I'd give a quick overview of a simple ship I built, and just show the demonstration of the shield generators. I will not be leaving a link to all the mods that were in this build, because I use quite a few, but if you see one that you would like more information on, just leave it in the comments. I will be more than happy to give you the link to the workshop page, because I think the modding community is great. All the mod authors deserve as much credit as they can get. It's just the fact that I have too many to just start rattling off names. But if you see one you like, and you're like, hey, you know, we'll just open up my blocks. Here's all the different blocks I have access to. And you see one and you're like, hey, where do you get the remote power converter? I don't know off the top of my head, but I would easily just go into my Steam workshop and tell you. So I mean, it's just, the list goes on. If you see one, just holler, put it in the comments. I will see it. I will be more than happy to relay it to you of where to get it for yourself. I would highly, if you haven't heard of Space Engineers and it's your first look at it, I'm highly surprised if you're into PC gaming, because this is one of, I think, the staples of PC gaming. I put into well 1,000 hours into this game. It's one of my top favorites. So yeah, just wanted to give a quick show off. If you do want to see this ship on the workshop to take it out on your own, put that in the comments as well. I won't just be putting it on to the workshop if no one's interested, because this is, like I said, a heavily modded ship So to be able to use it, you would have to have all the mods in your game. So if you do want it, put a comment out there. If enough people ask, I will gladly put it out there on the workshop. I've never put a ship on the workshop, but it's never too early to start. Otherwise, yeah, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. Upvote, share, like the video if you can. It would really mean a lot to me trying to get the channel up and running and get more coverage of it. But you're free to do with as you wish, as always. And as always, have a great one.